Hey, welcome back to another episode. I'm your host, Jitsuko Toshiro. Right here is the chart of Bitcoin. This is the master chart I've been showing you guys for the past few days. I have a few things I want to show you. Let me show you one thing though. This is my setup. I like it a lot. It's supposed to be an ultra wide monitor, right? I can get a lot of stuff done. But look at this. The screen came cracked, so I'm in the middle of returning it. But I want to tell you guys, so tomorrow is very important. Jerome Powell is going to be talking about interest rate hikes and whatnot tomorrow. That's going to be very important. That's going to bring a lot of volatility in the market. As you can see right now, Bitcoin is pumping. It's trading at $28,245. Usually before these FOMC meetings, we get a nice pump in the market. Depending on his speech tomorrow, if you guys are going to watch it, if he is dovish, the markets will fly even higher. But if he is hawkish, get ready for the onslaught. All right, let's dive into some technical analysis of Bitcoin. Now, there's a lot going on the daily. We're on the daily time frame, and I want to show you guys that we broke out of this ascending channel, and you're at crossroads here. Do we long it or do we short it? Is this a breakout trade or what is it? I would say just wait until tomorrow to find the decision of what the interest rate hikes are going to be. And then you can go from there. And that will tell you pretty much what trend to trade. But if you are trading any trend, if you're trading any trend, the trend is up. And there's no denying that. You can't get away from that. If you're trying to call the top, you're just going to get slaughtered. Like if you keep trying to short tops, it's a difficult thing to do in this type of market. But one thing to take into consideration is we are approaching now, finally, this $30,000 support. I did report in some of my previous videos that if we do break out of this $25,000 zone, that it's clear skies all the way to 30. And I don't know if we'll get there, but if we do, it's going to be a good opportunity to short. One thing I want to warn you guys on the daily time frame is one of my indicators are flashing a bear signal, and these are pretty consistent and pretty much calling at least a mini drawback or some selling off. So we will get some selling off. I don't know how much we will get, but it's been pretty accurate. You can pretty much see that it lines up perfectly with these moves down, at least 10% down. Another thing I want to show you guys on the weekly time frame is that we do have a bearish print. And what happens with these prints on the daily or in the weekly is you'll get a pump on a weekly time frame, and then you'll finally get that massive sell-off. So let me go ahead and backtrack the most recent one that I'm talking about. If you back test this bearish type of thing, what happens is with the relative strength index is you can line it up perfectly. You can see that we printed a bearish relative strength index. Then we pumped for maybe 2 weeks to take all those longs. And then we get a massive sell-off, and I'm talking about at least 50%. So I think that right now we're at a very pivotal moment in Bitcoin's history, just because we did get another bearish print, and I don't take these lightly, just like how I don't take the bullish ones lightly as well. You can't ignore these relative strength index divergences because that means that there's some discrepancies. Although they do take a while to play out, it is in your best interest to just respect them for the time being, okay? Last thing I want to show you is, which I don't have pulled up, so I apologize, but I think I have it favorited, is the EMA 15200. I can't repeat this enough. Right now, we did get we got an EMA signal of a death cross. Although it has been almost invalidated, I would wait 1 or 2 more weeks to really go long on Bitcoin. These things are nothing to play with, okay? So last time we went above the 200 EMA, you can see that we consolidated above it for a few weeks. So these are weekly candles. Remember that. This isn't just 1 day, 2 hours. These are weeks, like 7 days at a time. If you're working and stuff, put it in perspective. This is a long time. So almost a whole month above the 200 EMA. People are like, wow, this is a confirmed breakout. We're pretty much good. We reclaimed it. But you can see that we had the sell-off after. I think the same thing is brewing here. So I just want to warn you guys. I'm not saying, hey, we're going to go to, 9K tomorrow, or this is, going to skyrocket up to the skies. But look, history tends to repeat and rhyme. The weekly barely just broke out of this ascending channel, and ascending channels do break to the downside. And then second of all, we only have had 2 days above this EMA. after a 1 week capture. So we need maybe another week of a solid green candle to say, hey, you know what, this death cross is invalidated. It means nothing in crypto. But as of right now, I do have my guards up, and we're approaching the ultimate resistance. If you zoom out on the weekly, you can see that we've had this resistance, which was known as support, for about a whole 2 years, finally turning into a resistance, and we're finally testing it for the first time in about a year. This is a pivotal moment in Bitcoin because we probably will fail the second attempt of reclaiming 30,000, meaning that get ready to short it, just because it's going to take more than just 1 week of pumping to get above this $30,000 resistance. But one thing I want to show you guys I thought was very amazing, which I've never seen Bitcoin do, okay? This is very interesting with Bitcoin. We've had that whole debacle. So last week we had that whole banking crisis thing, and people were losing their horses just because they thought the dollar was going to zero, all banks will fail. You can see that gold actually responds really well in a time of crisis. And last week, gold had an attempt to reclaim its all-time high. All right. Now, I'm not saying gold is going to break out and go to like 2,500 tomorrow, but it was very interesting to see that, because usually in a time of crisis, gold is where people put their money. But for the first time ever in Bitcoin's history, when there was fear, uncertainty, and doubt, Bitcoin actually responded really well as a safe haven asset. This is what Bitcoin was made for, and I finally saw it for the first time, and I actually took a moment to appreciate, because this is what got me into Bitcoin, you know? The fact that it responded really well to all the FUD was something that was promising, meaning that Bitcoin does have a future in our lives. So even though I am macro short right now, I do think that people are going to turn towards Bitcoin because it's going to work as a safe haven asset one day, especially with, you know, technology. The blockchain technology is untouchable compared to even gold. It's more sound. It's more thermodynamically pure. I can go into the details of that, but at the end of the day, you can see the similarities in gold as a safe haven asset and now Bitcoin. It's kind of de-branching from the stock market, which I really appreciate. And never ever stop accumulating Bitcoin. That's my message to you. I'm just pushing these videos out strictly as a trader. And, you know, you can't get enough Bitcoin at the end of the day. Let's go back to one more thing I want to show you guys on the economic calendar. So tomorrow, we have a lot of news, right? But the big thing is, don't forget, if you're watching these videos, I'm here to keep you guys up to date with everything. The news, the technical analysis. FOMC economic projections is different than the FOMC rate decision, okay? The rate decision is one thing, and I think everyone knows that we're going to do a 0.25 basis point increase to 5%. But here is where things get interesting, which is the FOMC economic projections. Now, if you think about that, that is basically where the Fed is going to say, hey, you know what? Let's just stop interest rates at where they're at. It's not, let's just stop at 5%, keep it up there. There is some stories going around saying that they might actually increase that 5% threshold and go up to 5.25 or even 5.5, meaning that they might keep increasing interest rates. So this discussion right here at 14 o'clock or 2 p.m. Eastern time, that's going to be the key discussion. So if you guys are watching it and you don't know why the markets are volatile, this is going to give you some insight on why. Other than that, that's my technical analysis for today. That's it for Bitcoin. Bitcoin did make some history last week, and, you know, we're still at crossroads. 30,000 is the line in the sand. I will flip bull once that is confirmed. Other than that, I am keeping my guards up as a trader. And that's about it for today. If you guys like this video, please smash that like button and then also click that subscribe button. I really appreciate you guys. Thank you so much. Have a good one.